It's not just about the young musicians, though. It's also about the older, more seasoned musicians who are playing the more traditional jazz music. Bands like Treme and the Olympia Brass Band, they know what's happening in music today, and they're trying to keep their eye on the younger bands and the younger players. But they struggle when they hear where these kids are taking the music, because they feel it's never from a foundation of musical knowledge. So you have this conflict between these old guys who are trying to keep the traditions alive and the younger bands who just want to play the more current music.
The situation right now in New Orleans is that the face of traditional music is changing, and it's meeting with some resistance, like from the musicians and the community. Because the younger musicians they're not satisfied with being labeled as traditional musicians. They want to be New Orleans musicians with their own statements to make rather than the statements of other people.
It seems to me like some of the kids in the brass bands, you know, the rhythm sections are perfect. I love the way the drums and all, but some of the melodic lines, it seems like they're only playing maybe 1 or 2 chords in the whole song. They'll take one scale, man, and play 20 blocks, you know, da 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 da, and they just keep the same. It sounds good. I mean, with the rhythm that they put behind it and what they're doing, it's fine, you know, but it's not the way I was taught to play street music or, you know, brass band music, as you would call it.
It ain't no music, you know. I mean, it's, you know, it's just like that rap thing. That's the most non-musical music there is. I equate rap with the brass band thing. Same thing. I mean, I could get a tuba. I've never played tuba in my life. I could make a gig on tuba with any one of these bands. Don't do that bullshit all through the whole tune. Anybody can do that. You know, it's a drag. You know, it's a drag. And they think, they look at us like all of us are old. We're ready to be put in the ground. You know, we stupid, old, senile, you know.
When you see New Orleans and you see jazz, you usually see a little young black kid with a trumpet. You don't see none of the cats who really did the music. It don't have nothing to do with it. The question is, the city of New Orleans supporting jazz. No, they don't support it because they don't even know what jazz is. You walk up and down Saturday night. You nothing but t-shirt shop and loud music. That's right. Music coming out of it.
You know, exactly. You might even hear a country and western band.
That's right.
On Bourbon Street.
I think the old timers, in a sense, they're right about we as young musicians, we don't play enough traditional music. We're not into the traditional music like they are, but when we first started, we learned enough traditionals to try to make it through a traditional gig if we had a traditional gig. But the reason we're not as close as they are to the traditional music because those are the type of gigs they get. We get gigs where we play the funky brass band music.